Hello friends, Joe here at Reverb coming at you today with the brand new ToneMaster Pro from Fender. This is a multi-effects unit, an amp modeler. We've seen a lot of these kinds of units from various brands in the last few years, and I think that the name of the game with this one is the ease of use. The sounds are great, and we're going to get there very quickly here, but what I'm immediately most impressed with this unit is how easy it is to dial in certain parameters, how easy it is to change things in your signal chain and just swap things out, bypass whatever, all the things that you need to do to quickly get creative with tones. And Fender did a great job with this, and I can't wait to show you. Let's dive in. Okay, so at first glances here, we've got 10 foot switches that are very intuitive. I'll get into that. And as you can see from the display screen here, super easy to see through a preset viewing of kind of what you're getting into and the chain that's involved with every preset. This is stocked with 99 presets, and so far they all sound awesome. So you can pretty much just go through presets and then tweak from there to start. I think that would be like a really good starting place to get into the ToneMaster Pro. So, for example, I'm scrolling through presets. Okay, so let's take a look at this here. We got Blues Boost combo. We can see what kind of amp we got, what kind of pedals we got here. Let's say I arrive at this and I don't love the delay sound. This is so simple with the touchscreen, just to tap the delay pedal. That comes up, and now all the foot switches are knobs. So for example, I can just take this mix and bring it down a little bit. Now this is just a really great feeling knob, which is important on these kinds of things. And I'm just adjusting the mix, and you can see it's happening simultaneously on the touch screen, on the digital screen there too. So now, bring the tone down a little bit, mix back up a little bit, just darken up the delays. Now, let's say I've been tweaking and I don't really like this digital delay altogether. Replace, and then it just brings up a list of different delays, different kinds of effects that you can get into. So I'll choose a memory delay, it's called, obviously based on a Memory Man. Okay, so now I have swapped out the delay on this particular patch, right? And let's say I just want to save it. So now in the Blues Boost combo presets, instead of that digital delay that was there, I've got the Memory Man delay there. let's talk about these two big knobs right here. As you have seen, this is just scrolling through these presets, but there's also what's called gig view if you push the preset knob. So basically, you know, if you're at a show and you don't need to see the chain, gig view just allows you to see what the effect is that you're on. And so then you can just scroll between those however you like. Now, this is a master volume knob over here, and if you push this down, then you basically get mixer. You have an output mixer view, and so you can adjust your master here on the fader, and we'll get into the inputs and output specifics in a little bit here, but basically you have your I/O output mixer very easily accessible right there. Okay, so that's the screen. Now let's move down to the foot switches. The first thing I'd like to talk about is this top right foot switch can switch between preset mode and effect mode. This is so cool. So now we've been in preset mode, right? We've been scrolling through presets, or we can also just see the presets here and switch between them via these foot switches. Now the top right switch, I'm gonna change it to effect mode. Now, the preset that I was on, which was Eliminator ZZ, so now it lays out the individual effects within the patch. Now, as you can see, all these are on. The LED screen above each foot switch tells you what the effect is, and the ring around, the LED ring around the foot switch lets you know if it's on or off. Okay, so that top right switch, again, changing from preset mode to effect mode, very simple. If you hold it down, it becomes a looper, very awesome. The bottom right switch, if you hold it down, it's a tuner, right there. We all need a tuner, you need a tuner, I need a tuner. And once again, changing the parameters within the preset, within the effect, all these foot switches turn to knobs that's just like, that's the good stuff right there. That's mighty. So, intuitive looper, as you can see there, looped a few things, took it to half speed, took it to reverse, necessary functions of any looper. And then I exited out of the looper function, so now I'm just back in the preset, and then I can switch a couple of pedals off, play over it a little bit, change a couple parameters. Again, just very simple, very intuitive. Okay, so I feel like we've covered kind of a brief overview of some of the functionality here. Now, we will get into more specifics with building our own patch in a couple minutes, but first let's just go through some of the 99 patches that are just built in and see what happens. you'll get the idea here. Since this is not on the floor for me right now, it's not the best application, but there's a momentary octave up on this preset. So. Okay, some of you might be familiar with the Tone Master amps that Fender has put out in the recent few years. Great technology, great, just an awesome way of getting that classic Fender sound without using some of the parts and some of the tubes. And they've brought that technology here into the Tone Master Pro. So what that allows for is, like any great amp should have, some volume control and some great blossoming of tone as you roll up volume. So let's check it out. There we've taken through, a good handful of presets. As you can see, they're so easy to change very specific parameters. Now let's get to just building our own preset, building our own patch. Okay, so as you can see, there's a plus sign here. So we just start to add things. Now, you can, I'd like to start with an amp. That's what I'm gonna add first. If you start adding pedals or start adding whatever, it's so easy just to change the order of things via dragging them on the touchscreen, as you would assume. an intuitive touchscreen would work. Let's go for a 65 Super Reverb, because that's my stuff. Confirm. All right, we got a 65 in there. Let's go for effects. Let's get, okay, definitely gonna want a fuzz. I'll try this very fuzz. I think I'm gonna want a tremolo. Let's go optical tremolo. I kind of feeling like a plate is gonna be cool. Let's try this large plate. I got a feeling, you know, we're just kind of throwing things in right now, then we can dial in the specifics from there. I've got fuzz, which, and as you can see here, the order, I'm just gonna, so yeah, I just dropped the fuzz in first, and then I'm gonna go tremolo and then reverb. And then it's like, you know what? I'm not so into that fuzz. I'm gonna just replace it with a different fuzz. Let's try, I'm gonna replace it with this fuzz here. Boom. As you can see, building a patch from nothing is so easy, and also changing the order is so easy. And just like you would change the order of the pedals on your board and how big of an effect that's gonna have on the sound. Now, for example, if you take this plate reverb and put it after the amp, then it's like you're getting into, you know, some kind of post-production reverb stuff going on. Okay, so I built my own patch. Now, you'll notice that when we go into effect mode, when you're building your own patch, you'll notice that these effects are not coming up here. You can do it that way, and it's really simple. Foot switch assign, and then you can just add to the foot switch, and you can go on, off, boom, confirm, and then you have your fuzz here on and off, right? Easy. Now, you can do that for every switch, but you can also do something like a parameter change. So let's say you wanted a boost with your fuzz, right? So now you choose the fuzz. Now we get a level parameter control. So if it's activated, it goes all the way up to 100%, right? You know, our always on fuzz is 50%, and then we have now a mapped level parameter change to the second foot switch to 100%. So here's the normal. So the benefits to this function are kind of endless. It's like, imagine you're playing a gig and you know you're using a delay, and it's like there's just one section where you need it to really cascade and repeat more or be more in the mix or whatever. You can just map that parameter to a foot switch for that section, hit that foot switch, and then hit it off for the rest of the song or whatever. Okay, so the patch that I built, Joe's patch, right, is pretty straightforward. It's a few effects and an amp that I chose. Pretty simple, right? Things can get a lot more complicated if we want them to, and it can get pretty fun. So we go into preset settings. Let's say we want to go through 2 amps and have 1 amp on the right and 1 amp on the left, right? So we go signal path type, and then we can go instrument parallel, okay? We confirm this, and then now we can put this amp on one side, and then let's grab another amp. Let's grab a JC clean. And let's throw that on the other side. So now we have 2 amps, and we go to this nifty little mixer right here and just pan one of them far left, pan the other one far right, and all of a sudden, okay, so we just did instrument parallel 1, you can do parallel 2 and have 2 different parallels, but look at all the different options that you can have here. You can do instrument plus mic, which is a good time to bring up. You can plug a mic into here and have all different kinds of vocal effects going on. You can run them in parallel with your guitar. You can map it so your vocal effects change as your guitar effects change. I mean, you can get, the depths here are immense. Okay, so that is Joe's patch. And let's say I want to favorite that because I'm going to be recalling it often and I don't want to have to scroll through a bunch of presets. By the way, you can save 504 presets on here, okay? 504 different presets. So I want to favorite this so I know exactly where it is. So I hit the star and then I go here and I hit the star again. So now my favorites, my first favorite is Joe's. So now you can go to songs. You can create a song and then have all the presets that you need for that song, right? Then all of a sudden you're looking at only the presets that you need for the song rather than the whole list of presets or the whole list of favorites or anything like that. Then from there, naturally, you create a set list. And so then you add all those songs to the set list and all those presets that you need for that song are in the song. And then after that song, you bank song up or down your set list. So you are literally only seeing the presets, the sounds that you need for each song as you're performing that song. I can already feel it. I can already feel that you're about to ask the question, but what about my own pedals? What about the pedals that I have? What about my Chase Bliss mood? And what about the pedals that nothing else could possibly achieve, or the pedal that is integral to your sound? Fender thought it through, so let me walk you through it here. You're building your own patch. You add in, like you're gonna add in a new block. You go down here to effects loops, and you can insert your own pedals into the Tone Master Pro. You can see here that we have effects loop 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then we have effects loop 3 and 4 stereo. So within each one of those effects loops, you can have as many pedals as you want. So maybe you have all of your drives and boosts in effects loop 1, and then you have all your delays and modulation stuff in effects loop 2, and so on. You insert your own effects loops, right, with your own physical analog pedals. You can place them wherever in the preset that you're building. So you can take, one of the digital compressors on here, run that into your, MXR Distortion Plus analog pedal, and then run that into a digital delay and run that into your generation loss or whatever. The sky's the limit here, it seems, with like sculpting your own stuff with everything that the Tone Master Pro has to offer and really being able to navigate exactly the way that you want to navigate it. It's awesome. So clearly for today, we've just been using some different guitars and plugging in, but as I mentioned before, there's an XLR in for vocals or keyboards, and there's a whole variety of different ins and outs that this thing has to offer. We have the 4 effects loops that we talked about earlier. We also have 2 separate outputs, including a pair of XLRs, perfect for sending a mix to front of house and maybe using the others for monitors or an amplifier on stage. We have an auxiliary in to connect other sources. You got 2 assignable expression pedal inputs, a toe switch and a control for 2 amp functions. There's a MIDI in and out through to send and receive MIDI control commands. And lastly, we have a micro SD and USB for firmware updates and interfacing with a desktop app on your computer. Okay friends, there is the Tone Master Pro from Fender. I think that it is totally awesome. When I'm coming in to demo some units like this, sometimes I get a little kind of intimidated. Like I don't have weeks or months to learn how to use this stuff, and so sometimes it's intimidating walking into something and really discovering things about it and then translating that and articulating those functions. None of that happened with this. It was so approachable and I never got stuck, or if I thought that this should be something, it was very quickly that it was like, oh, even better, it does this. That's really something. I think that speaks to the way that Fender has designed this, and I don't think that they have left any box unchecked. Whether you are the player who needs to just very quickly and very simply dial in tones and change parameters, all the way across the spectrum to the player who needs to get ultra specific for fly dates, for tours, for setting up preset specific set lists and all that stuff and everything in between. I hope to be playing one of these in the studio and on the road soon, and I hope you love it. Definitely check it out. You can find them on Reverb. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.